GM. Today's lesson, I'm going to talk about. Excuse me, something stuck in my throat there. If you want to become the best in anything, you don't need to find the time for it, you need to make the time for it. This is a request from one of my captains. And it got me thinking about specifically the period of the market that we're in, or when we're in a period of the market where things are quiet, whenever volatility disappears, whenever the market's not going up only, whenever the market's not, it's not really rewarding you on a daily basis for just being long. These are the times where you really have to lock in, because before every big rewarding trend, before every big uptrend, before every significant rally, and even before every downtrend, the people who capitalize on the big bull markets and the big bear markets are the people who are prepared for it. And you have to understand it's a battle. Every single day, people are battling to take money off each other. And so who do you think has a better probability of winning? The person who is not prepared or the person who is prepared? It's obviously the person who's prepared. Now, how do you be prepared? The only way you can be prepared for what comes next is if you imagine all the different possibilities for how things could turn out. That means you have to have ideas for how it can go good, go bad, go sideways. Up, down, sideways. You have to think about all these things. But then you have to be able to develop a process for that. To develop a process for it, you need to have a checklist of things that you do. To understand the different coins, you need to research them. To understand how to trade them, you need to build systems. To understand the overall market, you need to understand Bitcoin and a bit of macro. To understand the entire cycle, you need to understand the theory of cycles, the emotional and psychological aspect. To understand the next big trends and narratives, you have to be in touch with social media and what people are saying online. And all of this is all part of what a trader must do in crypto. If you want to play the market best, you have to have your eyes across all areas that are important to you. Now, you don't have to become a meme coin expert and understand every narrative and understand what's happening in macro with Jerome Powell and fucking Yellen. You don't need to know all of those things. But you do need to know who you are and what you are trading. And within that, you have to outcompete whoever is doing what you're doing. So, if you're a price action trader who only trades Bitcoin and you trade it on a day trading basis, you need to understand every single factor that is important to a day trader trading Bitcoin, and you need to lock in. Because there's someone out there who's doing more work than you. There's someone out there who has more money than you, so they can afford better systems, custom software, proprietary data. They can hire a team. They can have staff. They could have 3 analysts. So suddenly, they're 4 times as effective as you. Now, you don't have to beat every single person in the market to make money, but you have to greatly outperform the average. Way outperform. You want to creep yourself into that 10-15% who can make money. And you'll only do that by outworking others. So however hard you're working, it's not hard enough. That should always be the mindset. Now, that doesn't mean grind yourself into a brick wall. You have to know what you're working at as well. It's not just brute force. But most people need more brute force. In general, most people don't do as much as they could. They don't keep consistency with their process. They don't check the same things every day. They slack on it sometimes. Maybe they don't go 3 or 4 days without checking ETH BTC, even though it's part of their process normally. Oh, well, the market's not really moving at the moment. It didn't move much yesterday. It's probably not going to move much today. It's not about today. It's about the habit. It's about the tendency. It's about what you're showing by doing that. Slacking off whenever things lose volatility, slacking off when the market gets quiet, just guarantees that you will not be there, you will not be primed, you will not be in position for when the big moves happen. So if it's quiet, work harder. If it's busy, work harder. And understand the different things you need to do. So when the market's not moving, if you're a trend trader, understand this. If you trade trends and you're waiting for the next big trend, and for you that means Bitcoin has to flip the daily bands back to green, it has to have a bullish break of structure, and then you're going to target altcoins for your longs. Okay, while you're waiting for that, that's Bitcoin on a daily chart. It could take 10 days, it could take 2 weeks, it could take 3 months for that to happen. So in that time, what are you doing to become better, to understand the market better, trending systems, yourself, your psychology? What are you doing in that time? The time in between the trades, you have to fill it productively. What can you read? What can you learn? What can you research? How can you improve your understanding of yourself and the market? There is always something to do. It just starts by thinking and then creating a process. I do this first in the morning, then I do this, then I do this, then I do this. And it should be all things that are relevant to you, not what Michael says he does or not what another student says they do. To you. What style of trader are you? If you're a trend trader who trades multi-day, multi-week or multi-month trends, right? Daily breakouts, strong 4-hour trends, then you need to be understanding what are the themes, right? What are the narratives? Everything's going to go up together, yes, but some things are going to go up more. How can you spot what's most likely to outperform? And the time to find that is when things are not performing. It's when things are dead or sideways or quiet or down. That's when the smart people, that's when the hard workers are doing the due diligence to find out what those things may be, form their ideas, form their thesis, set it up so that when it comes, they're ready to capitalize. That has to be you. You must be that person. And if you don't think you have the time, you must make the time. Because I guarantee every single one of you, me included, we all waste time. Nobody is perfectly efficient with their time. You're not a robot. So whenever you think you don't have enough time, there absolutely is. If you audit your day from morning to night, there is absolutely time in there that you can find for work. You can either work better when you're working, be more efficient, which comes with a structure. If it takes you an hour to do a certain thing, can you improve that by having a list or having a structure, a setup, a process, automating things to where you can do it in 30 minutes? Almost every task can be improved, made more efficient. How do you reduce the friction of things you're doing? There's always something. This lesson is to get you to think about how you can be better and then put it into practice.